Speaking of Embiid's injuries and excuses, so Embiid has missed the 5 out of the last 7 games, with the Sixers going 3-4 over that stretch. Joel was seen with a really thick wrap over his knee, which is starting to make Sixers fans nervous. You should have seen Sixers Twitter yesterday. It was rough. Everyone's very scared. You're talking ankle injuries, and now we're talking knee injury. I don't know. But he's already considered doubtful for tomorrow's game against the Hawks. So I got a couple questions for you guys. How nervous are you for Embiid's recent injuries? We got ankle, and now we're talking knee. And does this put even more pressure to make a deal sooner rather than later to take some of the weight off of Embiid's shoulders
or knee?
Yeah.
Interesting, because maybe a week or so ago you probably thought differently. The fact that he's getting close to the threshold of number of games missed, and he's still missing games, tells me that the injury is probably more significant than what's being said, unfortunately. Yep. Because you're taking away those quote-unquote luxury games at the end of the season where guys don't play.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it can be done, but I think you need to have something in place, whether it's on the team or something you add to make up for as much as possible for Joel being limited. That may have to be addressed. And I don't say out, I'm just saying limited. I don't necessarily know you have to say you need to go get a 5-man or a center, but something where you may have to address him missing the game or something. And how can you make up for that? But I would say I'm a little more on the worried side than I was a week or so ago, because I like I said before, I do think that with him getting to that threshold, I know that's not the tell-all, but I'm sure he would like to be considered for MVP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sure he would like to be considered for that, and the team would like, and the players would like for him to be considered for that. So, and we have some games coming up. The more and more we play on national TV, the more and more better teams. Still a lot of teams out there that we haven't played very much, and we still have to play. We still have to go out west, and so and we don't have that big of a cushion from the teams behind us.
It's tight.
We're close to the teams in front, but the teams behind us aren't that far back. So home court can, it's still important. And this stretch run, we're in January. We're in January, so it's for the most part 3 months of the season left.
Wow, I didn't even realize that we are 2.5 games above the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. The next 5 teams after us have the same exact record.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. We're not as far in front of the teams behind us as you think we are.
Yeah. Wow. Bad time to lose 2 straight, huh? So do you kind of going on what you just said, does legit backup big kind of creep up the rankings on what we need to look at and prioritize in the trade deadline in your mind for all these injuries, like a Drummond, where we didn't want to waste assets on a big name?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I don't really know if it's just specifically backup big or just a legit another guy that could win a game for you.
Okay.
Or, that can carry you a couple games in addition to, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily be a big, because we may have serviceable bigs that can give us something and play, but then we get our scoring, instead of getting it from the big, we get it from somewhere else. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it necessarily has to be a big, or it's like someone else, like, okay, we got somebody that we know can be that guy in addition to Maxey, and we can get something from Tobias, and they can win us a playoff game while Joel misses a game or something like that, or he's limited in the game. So, like I said, I don't necessarily think it needs to be a big per se.
Because there was that report, a week or two ago about the whole, our team's really good. Maybe we don't have to go after a 1A type player. We can go after more of a bargain role player, but maybe that changes to maybe going after maybe more of a top heavy type player because of this.
Yeah, if they decide to go that route, and that all depends on how they're looking at free agency in the summer. So
yeah,
I don't know. I got to make some decisions.
There was also a report yesterday. Was that Windhorse said that we're going to be very aggressive. So this comes as last week they were saying they were going to wait a little bit, but now we're going to be aggressive. So who knows if those are linked together? This whole Embiid injury.
So if they saying they, then we know it's coming from who's coming from someone. I don't know who's coming from, but somebody put that out there.
Yeah, someone's they.
Windhorst had a pretty good finger on the pulse of the Sixers move, so I definitely think that's coming from in the building. I think if he misses Atlanta, he'll be 9 games away from the threshold, I think is what I read. Of not being eligible. I want him to be eligible, but I also don't want to. I don't.
That's what 47 games left. It'll be 46 games left.
Yeah, so we played 35 so far. So yeah.
It's a good thing he won the MVP last year, so it shouldn't be as big of a thing for him to. Obviously he wants the end of season accolade.
Easy for us to say, though.
I know, but at least he's already checked it off his box. So it's the health for the playoffs is a bigger deal right now than MVP.
And he says the same thing. He has said that before, so I guess we will see what's more important: playoff longevity and playoff health, or another MVP. Because he said he's won it. Now the main. Now it's getting to the next round and winning a championship. So I guess we'll have to see how important it is. Because
we'll see.
Sure, I want him to win one, but I'd rather him the only thing worse than Embiid missing a game is by forcing him to play or him forcing himself to play, re-injuring it or making it worse and missing extended time. So I'm up for the cautious approach. I'd love to be cautious up until the playoff time. If he doesn't get the MVP because of that, so be it, man. You'll still average almost 35 points a game and 13 rebounds. It's still one of the best seasons. Just because you played 2 less than the threshold, okay, you won't be eligible for the award. Again, easy for me to say, but I also want to be a little selfish because Marcus and I are going to the Tuesday game against the Nuggets at Philly. So if he can sit out the next couple games and be healthy for the Jokic game, I would really that'd be great for me at least. Because I've gone to 5 Sixer games and he's played 1 quarter in those games. 1 quarter.
Did Joker sit out a game against us, or did Joel sit out a game against them?
Joel sat out one.
He sat out the second one.
Yeah.
In Denver?
Yeah, was that the Denver one or the Philly one?
It was in Denver because in Philly he had
the big one
game.
Yeah. He's had the Denver one.
Yeah,
but 1 quarter in 5 games. That's bad luck. So everyone wants to see you play Jokic. If there's 2 games everyone wants to see Embiid play in, it's the Jokic game and it's the Harden game.
Yep.
So I'm going to both. And I want to see him in both. So let's get it done.
when do they play the Clippers in LA?
March.
I might go to that game.
Ooh. Going Sizzler, Eric. Let's go.
It's closer. Much closer flight, but yeah, I may go. I'll look at the schedule and see when they come in this way.
I think it's mid-March. I want to say it's March 15th.
The LA. You're talking about the LA one, right? Yeah, it's the March 24th.
March 24th. Okay.
Yeah.
No, 20. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Back to back because they play LA, the Lakers right before that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a Sunday game too.
Yeah, that's a week. That's a weekend. Yeah, I could probably make that. A weekend early game too. I could probably make that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's 3:30 game. Or 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, so noon.
12:30.
So they play the Clippers. Yeah, they play them twice in a week.
Yeah, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 game Western road trip there, and then back to play LA back in Philly. That's a rough stretch, man. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 road games.
They play the Lakers. I can go to LA that whole weekend. We might go to LA that whole weekend, man.
Ooh.
Play the Lakers.
There you go.
I might do that.
To Eric's point about January and we're starting to get a lot of nationally televised games. 11 of our next 11 games to finish out the month of January, we have 7 nationally televised games. Damn. So for those of you who didn't get the league pass, you got free TV, you got free games coming your way.
Yep, you got it.
So I hadn't even looked at the schedule. I hadn't even looked at the schedule. I just know how the league has done it in the past. Is they backload a lot of games, especially the national televised games, when the NFL season games are diminishing.
Yeah.
Friday hosting Kings on ESPN. Monday hosting the Rockets on NBA TV. Tuesday hosting Nuggets on TNT. Then the following Monday hosting the Spurs on NBA TV. And then that Saturday on the 27th, we go to Denver on ABC. And then that Monday going to Portland, NBA TV. And then that Tuesday on TNT going to Golden State.
Why they put that Portland game on there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because Lillard hadn't been traded yet, and they're like, you know what, he might still be there.
That's a rough road trip too. It's 5 straight road games.
No, it's a late game though. So you got to remember that's a later game.
Oh, that's true. They want just people to watch Embiid on the West Coast in the later.
That's true.
Time slot. Yeah. Share the Embiid love. Let everyone get to watch him before he is ineligible for the MVP.
But that's on they got two. They got both of their TNT games. 2 weeks apart. On Tuesday, they both play on Monday. That'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you're right.
Back
to back, all on television. That's pretty crazy.
So,
yeah,
the Monday games
they'd rather him sit against Houston and play Denver, and they'd rather him sit against Portland and play Golden State.
Yeah,
that's what I said. Most of those, and you play the Nuggets the Saturday before.
Yeah,
before the Warriors. So that's a tough stretch. That's 3 and 4 nights. They don't usually do that very often.
There's some Sixers conspiracy theorists online who would say the NBA wants us to lose on national television so we can be the laughing stock of the league. So. I've already seen them this year. People's like, "Wow, we've already had this many back-to-backs already," and it's crazy. Like other teams don't have this.
It is weird back-to-back on television like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a giant conspiracy theory.
No, I'm
not.
See
the Sixers lose on national television. But yeah, so a lot of national televised games coming up here. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, a lot of box office games between Jokic, Curry, and Embiid. Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff.